Real Madrid striker Kylian Mbappe says coach Alvaro Arbeloa told him he was the fourth forward in the squad before benching him against Real Oviedo. The France captain returned from a thigh problem in a 2-0 win over Oviedo on Thursday, but his appearance as a 69th-minute substitute was greeted by whistles from Madrid's own disgruntled supporters at the Santiago Bernabeu.
Scientists have identified the remains of a massive new species of dinosaur in Thailand, estimated to have weighed as much as 9 adult elephants. Nagatitan chayafumensis is the largest known dinosaur from Southeast Asia and a member of the dinosaur lineage called sauropods, known for having long necks and tails, small heads, and 4 columnar legs, according to a report published on Thursday in the Scientific Reports Journal. Derbyshire Falcons have announced the signing of Pakistan left-arm pacer Akif Javed as a replacement for fellow Pakistani cricketer Sufyan Muqeem for the upcoming Vitality Blast 2026 season. Derbyshire had previously secured Sufyan Muqeem for the T20 competition. However, the left-arm spinner will be unavailable for the first half of the tournament due to international commitments.
The Sindh government has issued a code of conduct for the collection of sacrificial animal hides during Eid al-Adha. According to the Sindh Home Department, collecting hides without permission from commissioners and deputy commissioners will be strictly prohibited.
Transporters and Urban Resource Centre Joint Director Zahid Farouk have raised concerns over the design and traffic capacity of Karachi's Karimabad underpass, warning that the project could face congestion and operational issues despite its recent opening. Built at a cost stretches $3.46 billion, the underpass 1,080 metres and is being described as Karachi's longest tunnel-type underpass.
The Ministry of Interior has launched a unified police character certificate system across Pakistan to simplify the verification process for overseas travellers and job seekers. According to an official statement, records from all 4 provinces, as well as Gilgit-Baltistan and Azad Kashmir, have been integrated into a single centralised platform.
Punjab's anti-corruption establishment has allegedly arrested Suthra Punjab operations manager Abdullah Bajwa after a case was registered over corruption allegations said to exceed $1 billion. According to sources, Bajwa and his associates have been booked following an inquiry into alleged financial irregularities in the sanitation project.
Madonna and Shakira will line up with K-pop supergroup BTS to headline the first ever World Cup final halftime show at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. FIFA said on Thursday Coldplay singer Chris Martin will curate the extravaganza scheduled for July 19, the tournament's organizer added.
US President Donald Trump's summit with China's leader Xi Jinping in Beijing this week was the latest in decades of high-level diplomatic encounters between the two countries, marked by drama, tension and surprising breakthroughs. Here are some of the most notable visits by US presidents to China. United States President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping discussed the Strait of Hormuz during talks in Beijing, with the White House saying Xi agreed the strategic waterway must remain open to support the free flow of energy as tensions over the Iran war continue to roil global markets. Meanwhile, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi urged fellow BRICS nations at a meeting in New Delhi, India, to condemn the US-Israel war on Iran as a violation of international law, insisting Tehran would never bow to any pressure.
Injured Brighton winger Kaoru Mitoma has been left out of Japan's World Cup squad in a major blow to their chances of progressing beyond the last 16 for the first time. The 28-year-old suffered a hamstring injury during Brighton's 3-0 win over Wolves in the Premier League last weekend. Millions of Palestinians are marking the 78th anniversary of the Nakba, Arabic for catastrophe, a term that refers to the mass expulsion and flight of some 750 Zoos and Palestinians from their homes during the 1948 war surrounding the creation of Israel. Friday's anniversary is the third Nakba commemoration since Israel's genocidal war on Gaza began, and comes as more than 2 million people in the besieged enclave remain displaced and confined to a fraction of their territory. Barcelona coach Hansi Flick said Lamine Yamal was old enough to make his own decisions. After the 18-year-old winger waved a Palestinian flag during the club's open-top bus parade celebrating its La Liga title, Yamal held the flag as Barcelona's team bus moved through the streets of the city on Monday. The Spain international, who is Muslim, also shared photos of himself holding the flag on his Instagram account.
The Pakistan Cricket Board, PCB, has announced ticket sale details for the upcoming three-match ODI series between Pakistan and Australia, with both physical and online tickets set to go on sale from Friday, 20th May. The series will begin on the 30th of May at Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium, while the second and third ODIs will be played at Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore on the 2nd of June and the 4th June. All three matches will start at 4:30 p.m. local time.
A parliamentary committee on Thursday called for reconsidering the government's decision to reduce speed limits on motorways and national highways. The matter was discussed during a meeting of the Public Accounts Committee, PAC, subcommittee chaired by Tariq Fazal Chaudhry. Committee member Rana Kasim Noon proposed restoring the previous speed limit for cars on motorways from 100 kilometers per hour back to 120 kilometers per hour.
Authorities in the federal capital, Islamabad, have banned the O-level book, The History and Culture of Pakistan. The ICT, Private Educational Institutions Regulatory Authority, ICT-PERA, has directed all private schools to immediately remove the book from their curriculum, libraries and classrooms.
In a historic moment for the Pakistani fashion industry, designer Hussein Rahar has made his place at one of the biggest events in show business. The Cannes Film Festival, the Pakistani designer will be presenting his collection Lahore, a knot in South Asia's loom, at the festival's 79th edition today, Friday. The exhibition will be an invite-only event at Chateau St. George.
Sanadar's solo exhibition, Life in Colour, at Islamabad's 8B2 Gallery, is a celebration of the duality and complexity of life expressed in vivid, pure colours. We're immediately struck by the juxtaposition of intricate detail and a wild, free expressionism in her work. Geometric's paper, painstakingly hand-cut, gives us structure to backgrounds and skies, crisscrossing the sometime metaphorical canvas like branches of a tree. Intricate, precise and repetitive.
Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi on Friday said that Pak-US ties had strengthened during United States President Donald Trump's tenure. He made the remarks during a meeting with US Assistant Secretary of State for South and Central Asian Affairs Paul Kapoor, the Interior Ministry said in a post on the social media platform X. The meeting was also attended by US Chargé d'Affaires Natalie Baker, Minister of State for Interior Talal Chaudhry, and other officials. That India's Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, RSS, the ideological fountainhead of the Hindu far right, that says it is organizing visits to the United States and other Western countries to bolster its public image globally and dispel claims it is involved in violence against religious minority groups in India. The visits announced on Tuesday come amid international criticism regarding minority rights in India, and a few months after a US federal agency published a report accusing the group of carrying out acts of violence against minorities for decades.
And United States President Donald Trump said he made fantastic trade deals with Xi Jinping as the pair met on Friday at final meetings of a superpower summit that, according to the US leader, and has also reaped a Chinese offer to help open the Strait of Hormuz. Trump had arrived in Beijing seeking to seal deals in sectors including agriculture, aviation and artificial intelligence, and as well as to contain differences between the two sides in a number of tense geostrategic areas, not least the Middle East war. And A new idea for combating America's horrific problem of school shootings is to unleash an unarmed drone to confront the attacker like a giant buzzing insect. It is the brainchild of a company called Campus Guardian Angel, which has pilot programs using the technology in Georgia and Florida, with growing interest in Texas. These drones have not yet been battle tested, however. And the government is planning to empower the Federal Board of Revenue, FBR, to scrutinize and investigate civil servants whose assets appear to exceed their legitimate sources of income, and particularly if they continue filing asset declarations for 3 consecutive years. And the development was shared during a briefing to the Senate Standing Committee on Finance and Revenue by the Secretary of the Establishment Division and other senior officials. And the committee was told that an artificial intelligence-based monitoring system would be introduced to generate red flag alerts whenever unusual increases in the wealth and assets of government officers are detected. And Karachi, a sparkling unbeaten innings from Ayman Fatima guided Pakistan to a dominant 67-run victory over Zimbabwe in the second T20 International at the National Bank Stadium on Thursday night, helping the hosts clinch the 3-match series with 1 game remaining. After being put into bat, Pakistan recovered from an uncertain start to post an imposing 174, thanks largely to Ayman's blistering 79 not out off only 43 balls.
That United States President Donald Trump said he made fantastic trade deals with Xi Jinping as the pair met on Friday at final meetings of a superpower summit that, according to the US leader, has also reaped a Chinese offer to help open the Strait of Hormuz. Trump had arrived in Beijing seeking to seal deals in sectors including agriculture, aviation and artificial intelligence, as well as to contain differences between the two sides in a number of tense geostrategic areas, not least the Middle East war.
And Israel on Thursday threatened to take the New York Times to court over a piece it published denouncing allegedly widespread sexual abuse against Palestinian detainees. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Foreign Minister Gideon Saar have ordered the initiation of a defamation lawsuit against the New York Times, according to a joint statement issued by their offices. And before arriving for his high-stakes summit with Chinese leader Xi Jinping, United States President Donald Trump aimed to set expectations high. He said he would urge Xi to open up China's economy and announced a delegation of top business executives, including Tesla's Elon Musk, Apple's Tim Cook, and Nvidia's Jensen Huang, to accompany him. And Karachi, the Overseas Investors Chamber of Commerce and Industry, OICCI, has claimed that intellectual property violations are costing the country an estimated $860 billion annually in lost revenue and taxes. The chamber released its latest intellectual property right, IPR survey during the visit of IPO Pakistan Director General Nauman Aslam to the chamber. And Pakistan's latest GDP figures offer a picture of modest recovery. A projected growth rate of 3.7% for the current fiscal falls short of the government's original 4% target. And this is slightly less than even the lower bound of the State Bank's projected range of 3.75–4.75%, but it is still an improvement over the previous year's 3.8% expansion. Thankfully, the SBP anticipates growth, albeit tepid, and during much of next year in case energy prices stay elevated and the Gulf crisis lingers. That said, the numbers show that the economy continues its struggle to break out of the low growth trap. And structural issues are constraining long-term, faster growth prospects without overheating the economy. In this context, even modest growth is welcome after 4 years of economic instability and external financing crises and inflationary shocks, and despite oil price hikes triggered by the Gulf conflict.